I've wondered if the mace, or the ball of hurt, specifically, and the Dune Rider boots have been overlooked too much because I don't see people use them a lot, and part of that makes sense because it'd be easier to use a bow against the Eye of Cthulhu or to just throw spiky balls at the Eater of Worlds. But with the ball specifically, I found that if I go and I get lucky with the 20% chance of getting the ball, and if I accidentally spawn in the Eater of Worlds, I can go back home and then go back to the underground corruption and repeat the same process again. I've seen that the Ball of Hurt is a really good starting weapon because its swinging animation for me has been good for fighting against bats. And I've been doing this medium core master run recently. I haven't finished it, but I've grown more attached to the mace because it's helped me survive a lot from just common enemies, because its throw animation can hit an enemy multiple times, and it just seems really good for fighting bats at angles in which you can't with a ore broadsword. And normally that's what I would use. I would use a ore broadsword, but if I'm in a situation where, let's say I'm using a hook to go to a ceiling, when I do this, a bat can still go up and hit me from underneath. But with the Ball of Hurt, I can throw it down and kill the enemy before it touches me. So it covers areas in which I normally couldn't attack. And normally I would go for the ore broadswords because it covers one half of your body, and that one half's protected, and you put the other half against a wall for bats. But with the Ball of Hurt, it covers your whole body, which means you're safer in more situations. And its base damage is higher, it attacks faster, and it has a longer range. And I thought to myself when I was doing this run that me specifically, I was planning on, if I did not get the Ball of Hurt from getting any of the orbs, because what I do is I just go in, I grab some pots, some other surface caves a little bit, then I go in for bombs, and if I destroy all the orbs and there's no mace, I just get a new world and do it over again until I do get what I want. And that seems like a good strategy to just get it really quick and then I'm good for a while. And with the Dune Rider, and so it's helped me a lot with not dying, and more than other weapons I've used so far in other runs, besides outside of this mace run for medium core. And I haven't died yet, so there you go. I've also hotkeyed the teleport, the recall potion, so maybe that helps. But what also helped a lot was the Dune Rider boots. The Dune Rider boots give you the normal movement speed of Hermes boots, but they get additional movement speed when you're on sand. So I was in the underground desert because I wanted scarab bombs to blow up in a straight line for a elevator. But I also, in the process of that, got Dune Rider boots with hardened sand, which doesn't fall, and you can use that to run fast too. So I just made a big arena for the Eye of Cthulhu that was just straight sand, and that was really helpful for just outmaneuvering him really fast. And I didn't have to deal with getting hit too much, because if I was scared, I can just run quickly in one direction, wait for him to float up, then run in the other direction and break his ankles. So, and then also with this, with some of the B-roll I have, you can see me outrunning a little bit the Eater of Worlds. This is the second time I did it, and I did worse on this time actually, because on the first time I found it coiled up in a ball and I was able to hit that. But still, I took some damage, but that was because I willfully didn't move when I should have when the boss was laying on top of me, so that shouldn't have happened. But it just seems if I could get desert stuff for like scarab bombs to blow up an arena like I did for the Eater of Worlds, and then it should have been lower, but so I can make a clean arena to fight him underground so he doesn't shoot the spit at me, which he did because somehow it was a little bit too high. And then I have Dune Rider Boots to just place sand on the ground so I run faster so I can almost outrun him. It seems pretty safe. And then I had Gladiator armor, but no, not my community, but still. It seems that these two items, not used, or maybe not considered, I should say. They're not considered enough. And that makes sense because it's a little bit obscure, the Dune Rider Boots. And people don't look at the underground desert much because of how dangerous it is at the start of the game. But if I get the ball of hurt, I'm not gonna die, usually, because you can easily stun lock enemies in the underground desert. So for me, it was a good combination of having a decent weapon and then immediately going for the Dune Rider Boots specifically and Scarab Bombs because I wanted this really fast strat of outrunning the boss or bosses. But I found these things to be very useful. They've helped me a lot. Maybe people should look at it a little bit more. I don't know.